Walt T. Brown, Ph.D. in Mechanical Engineering from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He is a graduate of West Point, a former Army Ranger and paratrooper, and a retired Air Force colonel. He directed the Benet Laboratories, a 450-person research and development laboratory, was Chief of Science and Technology Studies at the Air War College, and was a tenured professor at the U.S. Air Force Academy. Walt Brown received Christ as a teenager, but like many Christians, accepted evolution simply because it permeated secular and educated society. To harmonize evolution with the Bible, he assumed, like many others, that evolution was merely God's way of creating. One day, Walt heard claims that Noah's Ark might be on Mount Ararat in Turkey. That piqued his curiosity. Was it possible the Genesis flood really was a worldwide event, not just a legend? If so, where did the water come from? Where did it go? Through long and careful study, Walt learned that the scientific evidence for creation and the flood was overwhelming. He also began to conclude that the Genesis flood explained most of the characteristics of the earth, including the fossil record that he had earlier supposed supported evolution. Creation science became the passion of his life. Walt's research is encapsulated in a book that has gone through multiple revisions and expansions since its fledgling edition. In the beginning, compelling evidence for creation and the flood. It begins with 135 categories of evidence that support creation and oppose evolution. When Walt was an evolutionist, among the hindrances to his acceptance of the Genesis global flood were two questions. Where did the water come from, and where did it go? For years, Walt studied many disciplines as he pondered these questions. The result was a global model of the flood, faithful to the biblical record, involving physics, math, geology, biology, and astronomy, which Walt believes convincingly answers these two questions. Walt was also the first to propose that the Grand Canyon was formed from a specific dam breach in a large post-flood lake that he identified via a number of techniques. Walt has made a standing offer to evolutionists. He invites a qualified evolutionist to join him in a written, strictly scientific debate on the scientific case for creation versus evolution. The debate must be restricted to scientific evidence alone. No religious arguments are allowed. Each side would have the opportunity to read the other's arguments and respond with a written rebuttal. All the results would be published. For more than 25 years, no one has taken Walt up on his debate challenge. Persuaded by the Evidence, pages 181, 182, 183, 184, 186. In regard to his debate challenge, Dr. Brown says, quote, "The best way, I believe, to clarify the creation-evolution controversy is to have a thorough, written, publishable, strictly scientific debate. Both sides would lay out their case, much as I have in The Scientific Case for Creation on pages 5 through 101. Then each side would respond, point by point, to the case for the other side. Both sides would have the right to publish the finished exchange. I have sought such an exchange since 1980, but have not had a serious qualified taker. When I speak at universities and colleges, I offer students a $200 finder's fee if they can find an evolutionist professor who will complete such a debate." End quote. In the beginning, page 406. As to the historical authenticity of Genesis chapters 1 through 11, Dr. Brown testifies, quote, "Hundreds of topics and scientific discoveries supporting creation and the flood fascinate most people and are easy to discuss, even with strangers. In effect, this becomes a powerful pre-evangelistic tool. While no one has all the answers concerning our origins, be assured that the scientific evidence is overwhelmingly consistent with Genesis 1 through 11. What better way to establish the accuracy and authority of Scripture than by showing that Genesis 1 through 11, the most discredited portion of the Bible to the secular world, is remarkably accurate? Understanding Genesis helps the Bible come alive." End quote. In the beginning, pages 316-317.